Yes, sir.
What up? What up?
Yes, sir.
What
We
up?
live, baby. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
What
What's
up?
up, y'all? What's good, Vita?
What's good, Oos?
We missed you on last week's episode, man.
Oh yeah,
We back.
we
We back.
good.
Tavita
We
Van
here and we
Pelt
ready.
is back in the building. Tavita Van Pelt is back in the building.
We ready to go.
Well, man, welcome to episode 32, man. TTE Talks Wild Card Weekend Recap. Crazy playoff weekend so far.
Wait, Oos. Wait. I know I said before, but I gotta break it. Let us share our view of the Pivot Podcast and I Am Athlete. We didn't get to talk about. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about that last week. Y'all didn't. I think y'all didn't get to talk about that last week. The Pivot Podcast and I Am Athlete. You being a fan of those guys, players and posts, and fan of what they done. You seeing that situation now. How do you feel in any regard or form? How do you feel as a fan? How do you feel as just a listener, or even just us doing this? Like, how does it, in whatever way that you can communicate, how do you feel about it?
Man, so seeing how it all played out now, I think the last couple of episodes of that last season of I Am Athlete, when everybody was there. Well, yeah, when everybody was there. Those last few episodes, man, it just started going in a weird direction. Like, there wasn't any specific place that they was going. It was like, we're gonna jump to this topic, and then we're gonna jump to this topic, and then we're gonna jump over here to this topic. And I was confused, man. Like, they started to get into I Am NASCAR, and I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
90% of your viewers watch because you're a former NFL player.
Yeah.
And you can give insight on that. NFL naturally transitions over to the NBA, so that's two markets that they're able to cover.
Oh yeah.
But seeing where they're at now, man, I'm all for the Pivot Podcast. I'm pro Pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Pivot Podcast, they bringing back. I like that they brought in Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
Because he's like the mediator of it all. You know what I mean?
I enjoyed Ryan Clark's episode.
Yeah.
He did that.
Like, you got Channing Crowder, who's like your high, and then you got your Fred Taylor, that's like your low, kind of mediated level of insight and stuff. But looking at the I Am Athlete podcast right now, that LaShawn McCoy episode, first and foremost, threw me off, bro.
Yeah.
It
divots.
Man. Freaking baller. No, I was just confused, man. So, like, the very first episode of this season, it was Brandon Marshall, Auntie, who everyone refers to her to as, former basketball player, IG sensation, doing all these half-court shots and all that. And then some other random dude. I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
I
get what Brandon Marshall wants to do. Like, he wants to do exposure for all type of people and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand where and how he tries to do his stuff. But again, I feel like you just took away what naturally drew everybody, to it, because like we watched y'all. Y'all had big roles in our football life growing up as players and personalities. So like I do understand where he would want to see that, but then even when I go back and look, like, it's specifically one episode, and it wasn't the episode where it was the where Brandon Marshall was like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about with the whole
with
NBA
the guaranteed contracts.
Yeah. I think it was the episode when they did start NASCAR stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, Fred's not tapping in as much as he normally is. And then when the Ocho versus Science stuff in the beginning was organic, you could always kind of see, like, I feel like Marshall would always tend to go to it when he needed something to get out of it, you know what I'm saying, to kind of keep the show moving along. I haven't watched a single I Am Athlete episode since probably the, like, Andre Johnson one.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the NASCAR because, like, NASCAR growing up, North Carolina, like, my family, they love NASCAR, all the race bikes and all that stuff. So I was interested in hearing stuff from people that I knew from afar. I didn't even know their faces. I just knew their numbers and their names. So to see them and to hear them talk, I didn't know Dale Earnhardt and like Kevin Hamilton had that type of beef like that. But like after that, I just kind of was like, oh, I'm cool. But then when I watched the Pivot podcast, I'm like, it just feels like what drew, me, and I feel like many others into it. Like, yo, this is just a conversation we love to hear. So,
yeah, like when they had Parsons on there, they had Parsons on there the other day.
Yeah,
great conversation. They went to his house.
Yeah,
Michael Irvin popped up, and I'm just like, cool. So you bringing athletes in talking about their experience, because like my biggest thing that drew me to the whole show in general was you got Brandon Marshall. Everybody knows who Brandon Marshall is. Even if you don't like football, you know who Brandon Marshall is.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows Fred, but if you're a fan, like in the middle of that casual diehard, you know who Fred is.
Yeah, you know who Fred is.
And then you got Channing. Don't nobody know him unless you're a Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
So it's like you got three completely different perspectives.
I used to always pick him up in my fantasy rounds because he was like super late round steal. He was just like, I used to just always pick him up. So that's how I knew him. Like, I just always pick him up. Because when I'd be like, well, he's just kind of the best value pick here. It's just always grab him.
But
always grab him. So that's seeing that is kind of intriguing again. They had an episode today I actually was meaning to start with the Aaron Rodgers in the playoff ones. Well, they did drop it yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was a good episode. I watched that during work today.
I don't understand why I listened to it at work, but this one was low, and I was like, yo, I can't really hear them. So I was like, let me just wait till I'm at the house or something, and then I can hear it.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
If those listening and watching, drop a like, comment to us your favorite podcast, whatever you're listening to, because we like to expand. We always like to hear new things. So yeah, do that. Just do that for us.
We open minded, man. We were sharing YouTube videos on fixing your credit with credit cards earlier because I've been trying to get up on game with that, man.
Oh yeah. Let us know.
That's our recommendation. Check out the Pivot podcast. They're dope. Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder.
Yep.
Channing. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But jumping right into it, man. Wild card weekend review. Crazy weekend.
Yeah.
Crazy weekend. Some surprises, some none.
So before we get into the details of the game, I've heard everybody. I'm not going to say everybody. A lot of people are saying the 7th seed is unnecessary. They don't want to see a 7th seed anymore. I disagree because I like the fact that only one team gets a bye week now.
Yep.
That's it. I do feel like only one team deserves a bye week. I don't feel like, because if you take away the 7th seed, like that last week of the year isn't, well, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have that excitement of like, oh, the Colts lost. Oh, the Chargers and Rams, like Chargers and Raiders could tie in both. Like we lose that. So I think only one team deserves a bye, and I hope that they never change that.
Yeah, I like where it's at. It's at a real good place right now, I think.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you really gotta earn that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have two people having a bye week.
Nah.
Like,
I know.
Y'all already expanding the playoffs 17 or to the regular season to 17 games. You might as well give the team that put in the most effort and extra, the only team to be having that bye week going into the playoffs.
So the picture as a whole, are you shocked that any teams are here now that like you didn't picture in the beginning?
No.
Bengals is the only one for me.
I would, so mid-season, I think we had the Bengals right there.
Yeah. Fighting
for that. But this, granted, this is before Lamar Jackson got hurt. This is before the Ravens got hurt.
Yeah. Bengals, Bills, AFC Championship, all that.
But man,
AFC Championship game in Buffalo, that'll put the game in Buffalo.
That wouldn't even be a fun game to watch, to be honest with you. I think the Buffalo Bills would just.
So I think. So you people like, Peyton Manning had the dome. That's why he was better. But when he would go to New England in the cold weather, he would get buns, right? Like he would kind of turn buns. I remember Ty Law picked him off like 3 times, and people was like, that's why we all need domes, so it's more exciting. I think that's what makes Josh Allen different is because them cold weather games, like his passes aren't effective. That one game, that's an anomaly though. The first L to the Patriots, like You saw that, but when it's like not dire need code, like his passes aren't affected like you see other quarterbacks.
They
I think
really
Burrow's
not.
that Burrow is that way too though. Like Rodgers, like the guys who really have arm strength and accuracy, they just look different in the weather.
These dudes
But yeah,
are talented, man.
yeah, they are.
But
So Raiders Bengals, you shocked anything about that?
we'll pull that up on the screen, man. Raiders Bengals. And my shock, no, I actually picked the Bengals just because I feel like the Bengals had the more complete team going into this.
Yeah.
They had they just had the more complete team with nothing from the outside going on for them to have to deal with. That's the only reason I picked the Bengals. Plus, they were at home. It's almost your rule of thumb. You got to pick the home team in these situations, man.
Team. So I agree with you. The Raiders went into the playoffs out of all of the teams with the worst roster. You know what I'm saying? Like the Raiders walked into the playoffs with the worst roster. I just picked them because I was like the spirit of John Madden. I just felt like it was, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like it was a good story. It was close. It was definitely close, man. That play, the controversial call.
Oh yeah.
Whistle, that one, man, it bothers me in a way because as a player, you hear play to the whistle, and then you hear the whistle, and you're like, all right, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like you just stop. And then as a DB, if you run through and smack him, like they could have threw a flag too, and you'd be like, it's like a lose-lose situation.
It's definitely a lose-lose situation in that.
Yeah. So I'm on that end. Again, I agree with you 100%. Bengals is the better team, better roster top to bottom. I think what's going to kill the Bengals, though, is the fact that I just feel like they tend to sometimes wait too late to include Joe Mixon into the game.
Yes, absolutely. Basically the same problem that it's the same problem that I think Buffalo has.
Yeah.
Same exact problem. They gotta do more with their running backs sooner.
Yeah.
But
because she got Joe Burrows 24, 34, 244, 2 TDs. Derek Carr 54 passes, which is like, but Jacob still had 83-6. I don't know.
That 13 carries troubled me a little bit. Because for me it's like you got Josh Jacobs, man. There's no more saving him. There's no more saving him you're in the playoffs, bro. Give him the ball. Darren Waller's still a little hobbled. I know he's coming off that knee ankle over the last few weeks. But
I think for me this stretch as I do think Darren Waller is a mismatch. I do think clearly he's a good tight end, but I think after this year, he's the first tight end outside of the elite group. I wouldn't put him in the elite level of tight ends.
Yeah.
He's the first one. Yeah, he's the first one out. So after you name all the guys you want, you're like, well, who starts tier 2? Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Darren Waller.
I only think there's 4 elite tight ends right now. Right? There's the 2 obvious. There's Kittle. There's Kelsey. You got to put Knox in there.
Yeah. Knox, and I would say
you got Andrews. And then I might even throw Dallas Goedert in there.
I do like Dallas Goedert. I do.
But he's the end. He's the end of that 5. You might even throw him in a second tier behind Darren Waller.
Yeah.
But that was the Raiders and the Bengals, man. Raiders and the Bengals, hell of a matchup.
So, Bengals moving on. Raiders are out. Raiders in a sticky situation. No coach, no GM. Well, they technically no head coach. He was interim, no GM. Raiders standing right now. What do you think their possibilities of getting back to the playoffs next year?
I'm gonna even go out on the edge and say they don't even have Derek Carr next year.
So let's talk through the Raiders offseason plans. Then we'll do that for every team that lost because they say every year 4 new teams enter the playoffs, right? I'm gonna have to agree with you. I don't think unless the Raiders do something drastic. So my drastic thing would be, I didn't know Devontae Adams and Derek Carr were best friends, and they played in college together. And Devontae Adams has said, if I ever had the chance, I would want to play with Derek. So drastic thing number 1 is Devontae Adams goes to Oakland.
Ooh.
That's drastic thing number 1 for me. Is he goes to Oakland to go play with Derek Carr. But the only way he leaves is if Rodgers leaves, so that would do another chain of events.
Oh, Bala said Knox is not tier 1.
I'm more comfortable with
it's
I'm
not
more
his
comfortable
fault.
with Knox. Yeah,
It's not his
I'm more
fault.
comfortable with Knox over Waller. I think you have to bring Derek Carr back because he's only $20 million cap hit, and he's on his last year of his contract. So I think you could just, I think Carr's the type of dude you could just sit down and be like, look, we'll play this year out, and then we'll just talk again at the end.
What do you think happens with Marcus Mariota? He's going to be a free agent this year. You think they bring him back?
Nah, I think new coach is going to probably let him slide. I think whoever the new coach is just going to be like, hey, you could go ahead and get on up out of here, my mans.
Bryan Edwards coming to the end of his rookie contract.
One thing the Raiders have to do this draft is they just have to have a really, really good draft. And I think and I know we say that for everybody, but like your best players aren't your first draft picks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you're hitting in the later rounds. You're not hitting with your first picks. So again, but new coach and new GM coming in, so that's going to be something to watch. I do think you have pieces there to where if you just make the right couple moves, you should be good to contend. But it's going to be tough for me to see, just standing right now, them coming back and actually getting over the Chargers.
This is what their free agent list looks like so far. Unrestricted free agent. Incognito. Key guard for them from the O-line. Losing some
38.
AJ Wright. AJ Wright's been hurt though.
Yeah.
Gerald McCoy. I forgot Gerald McCoy was even over there.
Yeah. Solomon Thomas. You see what I'm saying, though? So like Solomon Thomas, he's pretty big name coming out of college, right?
Yeah.
Solomon Thomas, Incognito, 38, right? Like Gerald McCoy's on the back end. Like there's just
it's really gonna be heavy into their draft. I think, like you said, their draft stock is gonna play a whole lot into what their team looks like next year and how that team kind of plays out.
What do you think the value of Carr is if he was to be traded?
I think you can get maybe 2 second rounds for him, maybe a third, 2 seconds and a third.
I think you have to do it first.
You have to do it first because he's not a scrub, right? But yeah, he's not.
No.
He's not the top tier guy. And I mean, if you think about it, when has Carr really ever had a full complimentary wide receiver core?
So for me, trade him in Kirk Cousins spots. And what do you think, Derek? He's already the last 3 years 4,000 yards.
I think the Vikings make the playoffs.
Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr. Nothing else to the roster changes. You just take Kirk Cousins and put him on Oakland. Derek Carr, put him on the Vikings. Kirk is making 45 this year and 40 next. Derek is literally only 20.
You're giving Derek Carr so much better of a receiving core with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, granted on the end of his career, Dalvin Cook.
Who's the other running back that backed him up? Dalvin up.
Madison.
Madison. You have a set team over there. That's why if I was Minnesota, I would be, Minnesota's done. I believe Minnesota's going to bite the bullet on Cousins. They're going to take the cap hit and trade them for picks. So I think we're going to see Kirk Cousins get moved for like a third or a fourth because they still have to, because they still have $40 million. Nobody's going to take that, but they'll probably take him if you give them a real late round pick.
Moonwalk says first round and a tier 3 player.
First round and a tier 3 player. So you tell me, if
anything, you send a first round. If you're Minnesota, you send a first round.
And Rashad Breeland. Last year's rookie Minnesota picked up Chaz Surratt.
I might even say a first round in Madison. Go and be their number 2 running back behind Josh Jacobs.
First round in Madison.
You know what I mean? Like, but the next year for the Raiders, man, I don't think they're playoff bound with how they currently look. I think they got to make some significant moves in the offseason. A part of me says they do go and try to make a play for Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Maybe even take a look at whether or not they go and make a play for DK Metcalf. Because
I
he's
could
going to
definitely
be
see
a
that
free.
too.
He's going to be a free agent going into this year.
I could definitely see that too.
So,
Be interesting. Let's see how this coaching carousel works out. That'll tell us a lot more too.
that was actually my next question, man. Who do you think steps in as the coach? Who do you think they look at?
I couldn't tell you where nobody's gonna go because I thought somebody would have been signed by now.
Where do you think? All right, this is not even in the conversation. It's not in any rumors. What do you think that puts them in the Deshaun Watson conversation? Anthony Barr, a first for Derek Carr. Ooh,
I would take that. I would take that.
damn.
We'll dig deep. Yeah, we'll dig deeper into that too later on another one. I don't think Watson in Oakland is a thing at all.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. Sorry, I don't think Watson and the Raiders, Vegas, are a thing at all. And he still has no trick.
Not even if they go
Remember,
after what's his name, coach? The
I don't think
Dolphins.
they brought him to Houston. Like if Flores doesn't go to Houston and Watson decides to play, then I really don't know what Watson wants to do. Because he has to be asking for something specific at this point now. And I don't know what they're gonna do with that. And so
who knows if he even suits up next year? He might remain on the exempt list. We'll see, man.
I just say when a player wants to get traded, you just gotta let them go as soon as they can because you're not gonna get more than what them people come at your door the first time for. And so we're seeing that with Ben Simmons. We've seen that with James Harden. We've seen that with DeMarcus Cousins. You're not gonna get what you need. To the next game, Moose. I'm with you. Patriots Bills.
You said that the Bills was gonna come out and win big. That's exactly what they did, man.
Yep.
Put pressure on the Pats. 47-17. What did you take from this game, man?
I think the last two seasons have shown what we think of certain coaches, like Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin. There's no way that Bill's not going to be borderline playoffs or in the playoffs at worst. Mm-hmm. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? But for the first time, the tables have turned, and he doesn't have the quarterback or some of the scapegoats that he had because he had some Hall of Famers under him too. And so I think even next year, again, as long as Bill Belichick is the coach of the Patriots, they will always be a borderline playoff team.
With a top 10 defense every year.
With a top 10 defense every single year. That's what they're going to do. He's going to beat up on the trash teams. He's going to make his team competitive against the good ones. But now I'm just like, again, it's nothing against this. He overachieved with this roster once again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he overachieved with this roster once again. So now I think it's going to be very he's going to have to stick with Mac. But I also could see a world where if the right person came, he would move everything to get him.
You think Bill would do that?
Yeah.
I feel like this was expected. If I'm in New England, right, getting to playoffs, like you said, was the absolute minimum of what we're gonna do this year. Nobody expected them to get to the playoffs, much less win in their division, in their conference. So they made it to the playoffs, and I think that was it. That's all they needed.
Exactly. Right. So it's like Bill and Mike Tomlin, like both of them overachieve with their rosters. You know what I'm saying? It's what great coaches do. Like it's just what great coaches do. That's coaching. I really do believe if any of these quarterbacks available could find their way to go to New England, he would take them. He would take them. He got Jimmy G and Jacoby Brissett paid.
Jimmy Garoppolo is living in San Francisco, and if Jay is ever watching this, he probably hating that. The real person you should blame is not Jimmy, it's Bill Belichick.
Just like remember, Seattle fell for the okie doke when after Rodgers got hurt and Matt Flynn came in, and then they paid him to go be their starting quarterback.
Man,
like
then it was like, hey, Russ out of Wisconsin is coming out the draft this year, man.
I said 38-35 Chiefs. We're gonna get there after. We're gonna walk through the wild card.
Yeah,
We're gonna get there.
I've been trying to ignore that, looking at that, but it's
Yeah,
staring
we'll
at
get
me in
there
the
after,
face.
Chris. We'll get there after.
But
Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a beast, and you see those 21 for 25, 308, 5 TDs. Just efficient, man. They have worked in the run game that makes them efficient, because you would have thought 5 TDs he would have had, more passing attempts, and he didn't. Mac had 38 attempts, and that's what happens. And so
I was sold on Josh Allen this game. It's taken all season for me to be sold on Josh Allen, but this game, broken play, I think it was their second or third touchdown that he threw to the Dawson Knox. Broken play, rolls out to the right, looks. It looks like he's throwing it away. He lobs it perfectly between two defenders right into Dawson Knox's hands. Only he could get it.
Yeah. He sold me as a top quarterback this year's matchup against KC. When I saw he just had them tied up. They couldn't do nothing. I'm very impressed with how Buffalo's defense still looks as powerful as it is, and you lost White against the Saints for the year, an all-pro cornerback, and it looks like y'all haven't missed a beat. So I think Buffalo's defense they're ready to go. Like, they're here and they're ready to contend. This matchup this week is gonna be good.
I'll save my thoughts on that for when we do cover this week's matchup. But
so when we do cover
some of the ones for New England, what is that looking like? We'll look at their roster right now.
Well, they spent all their monies clearly this offseason with Kendrick Bourne, Matthew Judon, Hunter Henry, the other tight end. God,
so I'm still a little. I don't want to say I'm not a believer, but Kendrick Bourne is your number one receiver. That's an all scheme and that's an all offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, does that force them to bring in another slot receiver? Because I don't think they have a slot receiver that's dependable right now.
I don't think they have one either. But the way that the college game is set up, you can find two out of the draft. Like, you really can. Like, you really can find a couple out of the draft. And heck, you just might be lucky enough that John Mechie might fall because of his injury and be sitting in your laps when it comes around and you get that type of player. But like N'Keal Harry, we're seeing him right there. Somebody I thought that was going to be like a standout.
Yep.
I think, again, Kendrick Bourne is good. I think you got something good with Hunter Henry there. He's really good.
He's their consistent guy. Yeah, he's their consistent guy. Every play you guaranteed to get something from Kendrick Bourne. Nelson Aguilar. The Eagles had our experience with him. So did the Raiders, bro. There's a reason he's on his third, fourth team.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna be shocked if again, I don't know exactly how much cap room they still have, but they spent dang near all their money last year. They really did. So again, they're set for the draft. I wouldn't be shocked if you had rumors of Mac Jones. Mac Jones got value after this year.
Oh yeah.
Because again, Bill made him look really good this year. And I'm still of the train of that Mac Jones is just your cut of the cloth, another Jimmy G, another, mid-tier quarterback who has a great coach who can look out for him. And it's all the Alabama quarterbacks. They're smart, they process well, but their arm talent isn't like top of the line, but they're really good quarterbacks. And then from there, it's just kind of how they develop from there. And I don't think Mac Jones I don't think he's going to be that dude where we ever look at him as top 5. But if you kept him for his entire rookie contract, I think you could see a conference championship game.
So would it be safe to say the biggest move for New England is on the offensive end, not necessarily much on the defense, right? They got Jonnu Smith as their other tight end. Hunter Henry. Umagali, who's a nice run tight end, run blocking tight end. Devin Asiasi didn't get too much burn this year. I think he's in his second year. They got a lot of young guys, especially on that tight end core. Who in the wide receiver market right now do you think would be somebody that Bill Belichick looks at, or just the Patriots as a whole? Who do you think they look at to
go back and get Brandon Cooks? Go back and get Brandon Cooks. He was there the first time around when that produced 1,000-yard season, I believe. Go back and get Brandon Cooks.
Where's he at now?
He's a safety. Houston.
Houston.
Yeah. Houston.
Damn.
So deal with Brandon Cooks. I would say get Brandon Cooks back.
What's he like in his early 30s, late 20s, early 30s?
Close to his 30s. He'd be real close. Will Fuller. No lie, I'm out on Will Fuller.
Will Fuller. Not gonna lie, that was somebody who came to mind, but
I'm out on Will Fuller. I think you could just grab one of him out the draft.
Too many problems from him.
Yeah, I think you could just grab one of him out the draft.
He's a hell of a flex early in the year before he starts his injuries. If you're playing fantasy football, hell of a flex player. That's the Patriots. We can all agree that they're looking for a little bit more help on the offensive end. Maybe even at the quarterback position. We'll see. We'll see how that develops. We'll stay on top of that throughout the off season. But one of the biggest disappointments for me, man, the Eagles and the Bucks. Tom Brady is gonna Tom Brady.
Yeah. So that game for me was like, I felt like it started off bad with the first call, that roughing the passer that continued to drive that they ended up scoring on. They was ready to punt. Like that game, when you think of certain games was like, yo, you did everything you could, and then you just gave Tom Brady an extra chance at the drive. I was like, dang, man. But they really did stack the box to fight the run.
Oh yeah.
They really did. Like they was intentional.
They look way more healthier than they've ever gave any inclination of during the regular season.
No, absolutely. And man, like the commentators were saying, like sometimes and we'll get to that with the other team too. Sometimes you make the game more difficult than it is. You're not gonna leave Devontae Smith one-on-one
all game.
Like just like look at Devontae and go, hey, yo, I'm gonna give you 7 tries here. Can you give me 4, 5 of them? And I bet you he's gonna get you 4 or 5 catches.
When they started to in the third quarter, he started to get those, and it was like, why didn't they do that sooner?
Sooner. So I was happy the fact that the Eagles came out so early and was like, he is our quarterback next year. So now your plans going forward just become, you have your foundation, you have something you could build off of, you had a good year, and now you get to go into the offseason with an intentional plan of what we're going to do to grow. And then you get to go into the draft where you got 15, 16, and 19 as your picks and be like, yo, we can really make some moves here without having to do anything that can like solidify our team for the next 5 years. This is one of those drafts. Like it can really do that.
That was one of the best things that could have happened. And I was saying that before, right? Like I need somebody in the Eagles organization to come out and say, Jalen Hurts is our quarterback. That's all I needed. They finally came out and did that. I'm glad they did because, like you said, man, now we can just focus on let's go build some pieces around it. Let's get a nice wide receiver, a nice big body wide receiver in the draft. Maybe with that, later first round pick, we can go get a big body wide receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe start thinking about who we're gonna put at center because Jason Kelsey's at the end of his career, man. I think
so. There's
he's ready to retire.
There's a center that I'm like starting to really like, Tyler Lindenbaum out of Iowa. Lindenbaum, like he's like I'm just watching him lately, seeing him around. He's floating around the late 10, like 8 to 15 is his range right now. 8 to 15 is his range. So I think whoever could swoop him up, I think he is gonna be that dude.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we're going to take two not centers. We're going to take 2 O linemen because Lane Johnson over there at right tackle still up there in age. He took a little bit of time off earlier in the year. So we'll see, man. Boston Scott, somebody. I think he's making Miles Sanders look real expendable, man.
Yeah.
Boston Scott's came out and looking real Darren Sproles-ish to me.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can figure that out with Boston Scott and Miles Sanders next year coming in.
He said Landon Dickerson plays center in Alabama. He did. Alabama's always putting out linemen. That's why I was so disappointed with how Leatherwood produced at Oakland this year. He just seemed to be off.
They need to hold flags. Bruh, so I knew we were going to lose a game in the second quarter when Jason Kelsey got called for 2 back-to-back holdings when he pancaked somebody.
Yeah.
He pancaked him. It was on like a 17-yard completion to Dallas Goedert. He pancaked this dude. His dude fell. And you know, he's not going to go down with him. So he held him while he was falling.
Yeah.
Dual flag. That pretty much ended that whole drive, back-to-back plays.
Officiating is... NFL, you make enough money, man. Like, you should be doing seminars all throughout the summer, but they don't. Like, the NFL just lets them go on about their business instead of constantly training these officials throughout the course of the season, off season.
Yeah.
And this is why we get what we get. Like, that's how.
Like, they get paid a good amount of money to do football for 4 months, 5 months of the year. You pretty much a school teacher making triple what a school teacher would make.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Do your
Exactly.
job right. That's all we ask.
Exactly.
But off-season priorities for us, man, I think for once, I never thought I'd say this. It's not in the secondary. It might be on the D-line. We got Brandon Graham coming back from an Achilles. Fletcher Cox is getting up there in age. Sweat missed this game. But I think it's on the O-line, and we need a receiver. I'm still mad that we took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
Man, look, Goose, Carolina missed out. Well, we didn't miss out because he wasn't available, but I seen it coming. I wanted Brandon Cooks like the entire draft. I mean, Brandon Cooks because I knew he was going receiver. New Orleans traded up the pick right before us to take him, and that's how we got stuck with Kelvin Benjamin.
Damn.
And Kelvin, hey, look,
Kelvin Benjamin was nice,
but Kelvin Benjamin was dope his rookie year, and then you found out he had no work ethic. Like, he had no work ethic. He was like Trent Richardson. Yeah, he was like Trent Richardson. He was like, I was so used to my coaches telling me to do everything. When you just say, bye, I'll see you on this date. He was like, I wasn't doing none of that. So that's why he messed up. Kelvin Benjamin had no work ethic. So
we'll see what the Eagles do with their 3 first-round picks. They got a couple in the second round.
So
a lot of draft capital, man.
So there's a couple people when you say O-line that I can say, you know what? You might have to give up one of the picks and something to move up. There's a couple people. And we'll do a mock draft when Pilot's on. After the Super Bowl, we'll do our mock draft. After the Super Bowl, when the orders are set. People that I think will actually be in y'all range: Tyler Lindenbaum, Charles Cross. Receiver-wise, Charles Cross. Receiver-wise, I don't know. I don't like USC receivers. They cool, but people seem to be very, very high on Drake London right now.
Drake London, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
I like Williamson. I like Olave. I like
Olave.
I like Chris Olave. I like Garrett Wilson. Both Ohio State guys, both Alabama guys, and then the Georgia receiver Pickett that's coming out. Like, those are 3 guys that I'm like, these dudes is battle tested. I think they are literally gonna be plug and play guys ready to go.
Big body guys too. Body guys. They play big. They got nice speed on them, top end speed.
I'm not messing with Drake London. I mean, I'm gonna look at him, but again, I just got to think against USC people. Most of them tend to let me down.
If it ain't on defense, I can't trust USC.
Yeah, well, Taylor Mays messed me up with that too.
Taylor Mays.
Yeah, Taylor Mays messed me up with that too.
This man, 6'4" safety coming into the league. Yeah. Talking about being the next Cam Chancellor.
So I view Kyle Hamilton the way I view Taylor Mays.
Damn.
Big, rangy dude who can hit and cover and do everything. So but y'all, like, both of y'all picks went so far back that I'm like, dang, y'all are out the Kyle. Like, man, if Kyle Hamilton just fell to y'all, like, yeah, you said you don't need secondary though, but I think he's one of those dudes who wherever he goes, he's gonna be all pro dude from the jump.
Probably the Eagles go defense all first round. Honestly, I think we go two offensive with one being a lineman, one being a receiver, and then we go to defense. That's what I'm hoping. We might even be able to tap into Molesi to see what he has, because his takes is always some bold takes for sure.
Oh yeah.
But Chris Olave, man, he looked good.
Yeah.
Nice possession receiver.
Yeah.
That's the Eagles, man. That's the Eagles. My poor Eagles. We fly Eagles. No, we ain't flying. Most controversial game of the weekend, man.
It's game,
the most controversial game of the weekend.
It shouldn't be controversial at all because all of us picked the 49ers. All of us picked the 49ers. All of us picked the 49ers. We just knew Dallas was going to lose. Like, all of us picked the 49ers. We knew they was going to lose.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, it shouldn't. Look, I throw my hate to Troy Aikman. I do. But he said some real facts. And he was like, if y'all would have played anything like y'all think y'all do, that game would have never been like that in the first place. It was like Dak had 123 yards at halftime, and you're one of the top 3 highest paid quarterbacks. He was like, that game shouldn't have been there. And then he, like you said with Devontae Smith, he said they had CeeDee Lamb single covered the entire first half. He said Michael Irvin would have grabbed me after the first time and been like, if you see this again, you better throw it. He was like, and you didn't. So I think, I'm not going to lie.
Dalton Schultz was their highest receiver that game. 7 catches, 89 yards.
And I'm still very hit or miss on him. I think he's more like a product. Yeah. I think he's more like a product. I don't think I think he's good, but I don't think he's that dude. I know Dak is not that dude. And it's not to say that he doesn't do impressive stuff. But after we all talked about it, my man's is very borderline top 10 on his best day.
I wouldn't even put him on the top 10 on his best day. Just because there's dudes out there like, I'll take 75% of Justin Herbert before I take 100% of Dak Prescott.
Yeah. And he's not top 10 with potential to work up. He's top 10 with the potential to get moved back. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I put Trevor Lawrence in that lineup just on purpose because I was like, and I asked one homie, I said, because he said he would take Trevor over there. I said, yeah. I said, but if Dak and Trevor literally change places, like, how do you think the seasons will go? Even as a rookie? Or would you actually go in the next year with more promise instead of being like, yo, this is our ceiling? Like, we're reaching our ceiling.
From what I've seen from Trevor Lawrence already, I would almost take him in this current position that they're in Dallas's position. If you put Trevor Lawrence in that position, they still lose, but I think Trevor Lawrence makes it look a whole lot more competitive than Dak Prescott did.
Yeah, I don't. I'm glad Dak got paid because I'm pro get your money, especially when the NFL has so much money in this cap room stuff. I think players should get paid, but when you are paid beside Mahomes and Josh Allen, and this is what you do every year, okay, again, you got paid. So my criticism, you get no sympathy from me. You know what I'm saying? You got millions to wipe your tears with. Like you are, but he's borderline top 10 at his best. And there's a couple people coming in who are going over. And you said, I told you I didn't put Burrow's name in because I'm like, well, it's technically going into his 3rd year. But if you put them together, I'm going to take Burrow. Yeah. I'm going to take Herbert. I'm going to take Derek Carr. Where I stop at is when I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you over Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I'm going to take you over Matt Ryan. Yeah, I'm going to take you over some of these other guys.
That's actually a question I want to ask officially on here. You're answering the question that I'm pretty much going to ask anyways. You threw a list out there. You said, look at this list of quarterbacks. Who would you take before you take Dak Prescott? I'll go one by one through each of them. We'll just say yes or no. There's going to be the obvious 5. Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen, Brady, Lamar Jackson.
Taking all of them before I take Dak.
Then we get into the Russell Wilsons.
Russell.
You got the Justin Herberts.
Justin Herbert.
Joe Burrow.
Taking Joe Burrow.
Derek Carr.
I'm taking Derek Carr.
Kyler Murray.
I'm taking Kyler Murray. Derek Carr came in on Thanksgiving and beat him, and Kyler Murray came in a couple weeks later and beat him. And this isn't even just off of recency bias. This is just me being like, you're letting people come in. You're letting quality quarterbacks from comparing you to come into your house and win games like this. Yeah, I'm taking all of them over Dak.
All I say, expectation is killing Dak Prescott's career. Matthew Stafford.
Taking Matt Stafford.
Deshaun Watson.
Taking Deshaun Watson.
Ryan Tannehill.
I'm taking Ryan Tannehill.
That's tough.
Yeah, I'm absolutely taking Ryan Tannehill.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm taking Trevor Lawrence.
That's tough. Woo. With no second thought.
No second thought. Because again, if you tell me my season now with the rookie quarterback who's talented as he is, gets surrounded with all these weapons, Dallas is leaving. Like, is this the best we're ever gonna be? With 2 defensive player of the year nominees, with thousand like, and
A
again, I
rookie,
don't
a
think
rookie defensive player of the
yeah,
year
rookie
nominee.
defensive player of the
Almost
year who's
locked.
also rookie defensive player of the year who's also a defensive player of the year nominee. Trayvon Diggs, who yes, he still makes his play, but he's still a defensive player of the year, All Pro nominee. You still got DeMarcus Lawrence. You
Marcus
still got
Lawrence.
Gregory, who sold like a fool that game. Randy
Man.
Gregory sold like a fool that game. All those neutral zone infractions, he soiled it. Then you still have
Tackling the pulling guard for what?
tackling the pulling guard. You got CeeDee Lamb. I know it sounds disrespectful to CeeDee Lamb. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is who he is. I can name 6 guys around him that I would take over him, but CeeDee Lamb's still a great receiver. You have a great receiving core all around. You got a good tight end, 2 running backs, and one of the top 3 O lines in the league, bro.
Facts.
If I can say right now, Trevor Lawrence can go to that team and I lose to the San Francisco 49ers, I would look forward to next year. Like, we lost with a rookie. Hey, we Super Bowl next year. Now Dallas is like, yo, I think this is our ceiling. There's no more hope. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, Bala said there's no way he falls that low. I take Dak over Derek and Kyler. Okay,
No.
so you give me Dak before his ankle? Maybe.
No.
Maybe we'll have that conversation because at that time he looked great. He looked great. Right?
Yeah.
If we're eliminating everything we know now and we're looking at before Dak got hurt, he was on pace for 5,000 yards. Then he got hurt. You giving me that Dak, and that's the Dak that you're showing me, that you've shown me as of recent. I'm taking Dak. I'm taking Dak.
I'm taking Derek. I'm taking Derek and Kyler both comfortably.
The O-line got murdered against that 49ers D-line.
Straight both comfortably.
So my biggest problem, my biggest problem with Dallas is they lost Joey Bosa early in the second quarter, in the first half. They were going against some subpar, D-line rusher.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, man. Like, y'all should have beat the 40. Fred Warner was out for 3 drives.
Yeah. I'm taking both of them comfortably over Dak because, one, over the last 3 years, just alone, Derek Carr's thrown for over 4,000 yards. But we can't never, ever once say that he had the O-line, the running backs, or the receiving core like Dak has. And I know sometimes we sit back and we go, well, he has to throw that much. He has to produce that much. Well, when Dak needs to produce like that against good teams, he can't. He can't. He can't.
And I've seen Derek Carr lead game-winning drives. I don't know that
Exactly.
I've seen Dak do that as of recent.
No. We're still lit, like Bala said, expectations. So, and Skip says it, they're still living off of that rookie year of Dak and being like, so remember, Trevor Lawrence, in the example, rookie year Dak came in super efficient, high passing, and had a hell of a first playoff game against Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, yo, only going up from here because he's only a rookie. We're only going up. But this is where they've been at the entire time.
The same rookie Dak.
So now just even an honest question. Physical traits, rookie Dak, physical traits, rookie Trevor Lawrence. Who's better?
Oh, I'm taking Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. So that's why I said if you switch Trevor Lawrence now, you lose this game, wouldn't you be hopeful going into next year? Like, oh yeah, Trevor, Trevor's got it. So we got
Amari Cooper, we got CeeDee Lamb,
and just even be honest, even though this has been Dallas's ceiling for a long time, they haven't been to it. Like, I don't know if you've seen a list of like playoff wins over the last 25 years. They only got 3. You know what I'm saying? But during that whole time, they've always had great players. So it's not like Dallas has never been able. Like, remember when Miles Austin was snapping for Dallas?
Oh man,
Dallas.
They was talking about maxing that dude out.
Yeah, Dallas can always find great players. Like, they just offensive players. Like, Dallas always finds it. So yeah, and so one thing I try not to do, because Paul is right. You are playing playoff teams, right? So the competition is different. You know what I'm saying? You're not playing regular teams. So you are playing actual good, legitimate teams. But this is when your money gets made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when Dak is put in these situations where he's playing other good teams, like example, he lost to Derek Carr, he lost to Kyler Murray this year.
Lost to
He
Tom Brady.
lost to Tom Brady earlier this year. When you put him against these people we name him with, he doesn't consistently impress or win the matchup. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's a decisive blowout. Like I think all 5 of their
yeah,
losses were blowouts,
yeah.
aside from like one, which was a close
And he
game.
does, yeah, and like the box score gets finessed because he'll be down by 23 and then get 2 late TDs, and then you're kind of like, oh well, if this wasn't like this or that or this or that,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think
Again,
I think that begs the question: what does Dallas need to do in the offseason to improve? I mean, we know they ain't doing nothing with Dak Prescott. They're locked with him for the next 4
yeah,
years.
they're locked, and the
Which is
crazy part
which is
is,
where that's where their significant improvement needs to come is at the
yeah,
quarterback position. Because you have a hell of a receiving core. You got one of the best two. Let's not forget Tony Pollard outperformed everything that they thought he would do this year.
there was a very, 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 very wild thought out there, very wild thought that Jerry Jones sees the limitation of Dak, sees elite quarterback play, and if I'm Jerry Jones, I would ship 2 first-round picks, Dak Prescott and CD Lamb for Russell Wilson.
Ooh, you put Russ on this team with Coop, with Dalton Schultz, with that defense, that O-line, Tony Pollard, and Ezekiel Elliott? Wow.
Because again, the thought process behind that was Dallas can always find good receivers because they always tend to. They have a good O line, but again, they're starting to get older, and you're gonna have to start paying some of them. So you're gonna have to be ready to recycle some of them. And the bigger issue for Dallas, the very, very bigger issue for Dallas, I told y'all, I don't got no respect for Mike McCarthy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Pollard would be like, but he got a ring though. And he does got a ring. But that to me is like saying, if the Nets was to win a ring, would you really think Nash was the one who coached them to that ring?
Oh no.
Like, nah.
You got a ring off of KD, James Harden, and Irvin's back.
Yeah. So for me, when I look at Mike McCarthy's ring, I'm like, you got a ring off of Rodgers. Shit like that defense would say, like, you know what I'm saying? It was in spite of you. And it's not that I don't think Mike McCarthy's trash. He's not it for me. Dallas is more concerned right now is you're about to possibly lose Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore.
And like that's the most valuable piece to your offense is Kellen Moore.
That's the most valuable piece.
Kellen Moore is going to be a head coach somewhere.
Remember, Dan Quinn ran the Legion of Boom defense before he took the Atlanta job. He knows what he's doing. So I think the single most thing, because Dallas does have a talented roster. They really are talented. You got to figure out that coaching coordinator situation.
You said that defense ain't much on the Cowboys. They overrated. I think as far as big play goes, they make enough big plays to be able to be in that conversation, right?
I don't think there's
I don't think they're an elite defense. I think they're a good enough defense.
Yeah.
Where if they were an elite defense, they'd have won this game. They'd have won this game, period.
I agree.
But I think they're good enough to where their offense needs to pick up the rest of what's not there in order for them to. They're good enough to make stops.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're gonna be like this for a minute. Very opportunistic turnover like defense. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna burn big, win big. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You're either gonna get your turnovers or you're gonna get toe up. It's one or the other.
I mean, one of the most impressive things they did was they held George Kittle to one catch and 18 yards.
Yeah. I also did see George Kittle going to block Parsons a lot on the runs. Like he was going straight after Parsons.
Oh yeah.
Yep, there you go, man.
They had that man on a boxing one, like what they did to Giannis.
You know what? I'm with Pollard. I would trade Cooper if I was Dallas, because I still got Wilson and Gallup. So I would trade Cooper.
Yep.
I would move
Cedric
Cooper
Wilson, Gallup, CD Lamb. I think that's 3 perfectly solid.
Yeah.
pieces around whatever quarterback you're bringing in. And I mean, if I'm Pete Carroll, right? If I'm thinking like Pete Carroll and looking at, his behaviors in the draft over the last few years, he's going to take those 2 first-round picks and he's going to flip them for multiple second and third-round picks.
Yeah.
Because his mindset is, I believe I could build a team off of late-round pick guys with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, we get it, but it's also, are you willing to swallow the Dak pill for the next 4 years?
Yeah.
Because you got to live with that.
Yeah, they got to. Yeah, I really think the number one priority for them is they got to figure out their coaching situation. And I don't think, and Jerry's a loyal dude, and I don't think he doesn't want to lose any of them. So I think he's trying to figure that out now. Because they, again, all of the, Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn are both interviewing. So
cool.
We'll see.
That takes us in the next game of the weekend. Wild card recap. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs, 42-21. It was over pretty early, around the third quarter. Third quarter, it was like 35-14.
Yeah.
But was this the last hoorah?
Johnson's sold, bro. Their first couple drives that they start out, he dropped. Go see his drops. Do they show how many drops he had?
Like 3-4 passes, bro.
Yeah.
He was targeted 10 times, bro. Brought in 5.
He's sold. Like, Johnson's sold, bro.
That's supposed to be your number one receiver.
Yeah, he's sold, bro. So I was like, bro, you are really messing up right now. Because they did everything they were supposed to do to start that game. First quarter, 0-0. You had the game in your hand. And the dude just kept dropping and stalling out drives. And then after that, you're just like, yeah, they got the touchdown. And he was like, yeah, man, it's about to be over with. They just can't keep up with that. They can't.
You think that's the end of Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. He wouldn't have let them do all that big stuff that they did for him if it wasn't. Yeah, Big Ben's done. He's done.
Big Ben. So they're gonna have to deal with what's his name? Rudy.
Yep. So Najee's safe.
That whole wide receiver core got to go. All of them. Every single one of them.
Juju might get the extension though.
I think he might. I think he's a good enough wide receiver. He's a good enough number 2 guy.
Yeah.
The question is who you gonna bring to be your number 1?
Yeah, Juju should get the extension. Again, Pittsburgh's just one of those people who always draft good receivers.
Chase Claypool's on a rookie deal still, so he'll be there.
Yeah, he'll be back. What does Pittsburgh do from here, though?
Derek Watt, fullback, I think stays for the sake of his brother's there, bro.
Yeah.
You're not going to let go of the little brother and have the older brother come off of a career year.
Pittsburgh intrigues me, man, because clearly they're the one thing they need. Well, this is quarterback of the future. But who is going to be the quarterback?
I know there's a whole lot of rumors of Aaron Rodgers being that guy.
If Aaron Rodgers was to leave, I actually think he will go to Pittsburgh. At first I was like Denver, but then I'm like, nah, I think he would prefer to go with Tomlin. But that's the only veteran QB I see going over there. That's the only one. After that, I think they're gonna draft one.
I don't even think there's anyone in the draft this year that you would take. Personally.
So
that's a Pittsburgh guy, right? I know Pittsburgh's not a big flashy quarterback town, you know what I'm saying? But thinking about who they're gonna take to be their guy.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's going through this problem right now. He's got Mac Jones.
Okay. I got Sam Howell.
Sam Howell?
Sam Howell. Because I look at Sam Howell, and his arm talent to me is crazy. But last year he did really good, but he also had four NFL caliber players playing with him before this year. He had Diami Brown and Javonte Williams and Michael Carter and the other receiver I can't think of right now. He had 4 NFL guys with him. But when I look at like quarterback's pure talent, I like Sam Howell in this draft. I can see people trying to force feed Kenny Pickett to Pittsburgh. Bigger dude.
Kenny Pickett, I could see in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Ooh, he said trade for Cooper or sign Devontae and go with A-Rod if he leaves. That's tough.
I think Pittsburgh's only mindset is we got to find a QB.
I don't think they trade for one. I don't think they trade for one. I just don't think they're the type of team to be able to trade for those assets, right? I think they are a team to go and trade for some defensive pieces. As far as like a quarterback for the future, I think they're gonna look for somebody that they can get out the draft, build him up, and go from there. Because I don't think Mason Rudolph is the dude. Obviously, he's gonna be kind of their. I might even go out on the ledge and say they don't have a bridge year with Mason Rudolph. They're gonna draft their dude from the jump.
Yeah,
and they're gonna roll with him.
If Rudolph or Haskins was that guy, they would have played already.
Oh yeah,
but they're not. They're not.
Especially while Ben was hurt.
Yeah, whatever rookie comes in is gonna get PT because they let Big Ben play. So whatever rookie comes in is gonna get PT. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it easy enough for them. So that's it with them. They just got to go quarterback.
I think their defense is pretty solidified still. I do think they need a little bit of help in the linebacking core. Personally, ever since they lost Bud Dupree, ever since they lost what's his face from a couple years back, they got paralyzed.
Ryan, not Ryan.
Yeah, Shazier, Ryan Shazier.
Shazier.
I think ever since they lost Ryan Shazier, their linebacker play has been mid. It's been mid, but I think that's the glaring piece that they need to fill is that quarterback spot as well as some of their they need a number one receiver. They need a number one receiver.
They do. I like their tight end, Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah. He's nice.
Fitzmagic. Oh yeah, they could take a flyer on Fitzmagic for a year.
I mean, he's a Pittsburgh dude.
Yeah, he is. They could take a flyer on him.
He's a Pittsburgh dude. I think he'd be a nice Pittsburgh fit. We'll move away from that game and go into the Monday night game, the last game of the wild card weekend. The Rams and the Cardinals. Let me just say, they are who we thought they were. Everything that you said earlier in the season, they just waited till the playoffs to show it. Matt Stafford threw the ball 17 times, bro.
17 times. If you want to get your first playoff win and you want to not have to worry about doing nothing, you throw the ball 17 times.
17 times.
You throw the ball 17. And you didn't even have the best throw of the day on your team.
You sure didn't.
Yeah, OBJ had the best throw of the day in the Rams jersey. And so, Kyler Murray, God, you didn't have D-Hop. You didn't have some pieces going in. Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury's on a contract. I don't know what you do because, again, you have to repeat. This is your division, bro. Like this is your division.
Rams had the easiest matchup of the weekend. Hey man, they let Cam Akers come back 6 months after tearing his ACL?
Yeah.
6-7 months after tearing his ACL, get 17 carries and 55 yards on y'all.
Sports medicine is crazy now.
That's wild.
Sports medicine is crazy now.
If I ever see anybody in the NBA tear their ACL, bro, they better be back for the playoffs. You need to be back in 6 months, bro. This man, he's a running back. He's what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What? But looking at the Arizona Cardinals, man, what do they need going into next season? What are some of the moves that they should make, or is the best move for them to make is not a move at all? They got an aging JJ Watt.
So you got Kyler Murray. I like Kyler Murray. I said I'll take Kyler over Dak. But again, let me clarify. I do think Dak is a franchise quarterback. I just don't think he's better than all the guys that we put him up against.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If you go down and look at their receivers, like they invested a lot of free agent and draft capital in their wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like they really did.
Zach
And
Ertz need to get paid next year.
Zach Ertz got to get paid.
Christian Kirk.
So Arizona, I think it's time to find you some more scouts and stop trying to invest. Yeah, stop trying to invest in receivers because y'all spent a lot of money. The two people who you spent money on that you really invested into, because Zach Ertz and D Hop, great. The rest of these guys who you brought in, you just got to start to reevaluate, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, Rondale Moore, I mess with Rondale Moore. I mess with Christian Kirk. But also, those guys were kind of higher end talented player picks. So maybe things got to change there. Again, I felt like they had something good, but when I look at what they have compared to what they'll be going up against, it's like, man, I don't know when you guys are gonna. Yeah, I feel like you guys are gonna keep hitting that wall because Cliff can't beat McVay and Root like in Shanahan. Like you just can't beat your two coaches in your division. If it was me, I'd fire the hell out of Cliff and bring in Brian Flores. I'm just saying this, like fire the hell out of Cliff, get him out of there. Like that's what I would do. I would give buy Cliff, hey Brian, come here, you take his house. I know you saw the pictures of it. You know, I'm bringing Brian Flores or Dan Quinn. I think their ceiling is Cliff, and I think you have to move off of him so you can get to this next spot. Because this is.
Do you think he gets fired in the offseason?
No, because I think they're too late in the process, and I think they might actually think that they got it. But we all know you first have to win your division. You know, and yeah, you got 3 teams from this division in, but Seattle had a down year. I'm not going to expect another down. Like if they was to walk back with the same people, I'm not going to expect another down year from Seattle. And they beat y'all the last game.
I would almost look at firing Cliff and bringing in Kellen Moore. Because the only way you're going to beat Shanahan, and McVay is you got to bring a whole nother offensive mind in there to get you something creative to bring in there. Because the biggest knock to the Arizona Cardinals was Chase Edmonds getting healthy, in my opinion. You had a great thing going with James Conner.
You did.
Chase Edmonds got healthy the last 3 games of the season, and all of a sudden you want to make him the starter again. Like, bro, make him the change-up back. You gave him 8 carries. You gave James Conner 4. Oh man.
Yeah. They I think they need the coaching change more than anything. And I'm taking either coach from Dallas. More so, I think you should be looking at the defensive, like Quinn or Flores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flores had a hell of a defense over there in Miami.
Exactly.
And they didn't have their best player, quote unquote, that was asking for an extension, wasn't even the focal point of their defense.
No.
So it's like you need a guy that can come in and do some stuff without a personnel that screams superstar.
Yeah.
So that takes us into next week, man. The following week, divisional round. We'll take a look at that with the first matchup with the Bengals and the Titans.
Bengals and Titans.
That's gonna be a nasty game. That's gonna be a nasty game.
This game is like the most roller coaster game of the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because you really don't know what to expect. Like you really don't know what to expect. Because as Bengals, you're here. We kind of know who you are. With Burrow and Chase, the young electric team on the way up. But Titans, y'all are ugly as hell. Don't none of us really mess with y'all. Don't none of us really want to see y'all here. Like, we got respect for Derrick Henry, but we don't really know. Like, y'all just like the ugly dude who always wears all black, like when it's hot outside and with a hoodie. So, like, nobody really cares for y'all to be here right now.
Wear the black forces. Nobody want them at the party, but they show up anyways.
Yeah, and so that's where we're at. So, okay, let's do this. Let's walk through this. Bengals and Titans. Quarterback, Burrow and Tannehill.
Burrow.
Running backs.
I gotta go with King Henry, regardless of him coming off an injury.
Yeah. All right. O-line.
That's tough. That's
I'm
tough.
leaning Tennessee. I'm leaning Tennessee though.
Derrick Henry makes their O-line look better than they are.
Yeah. D-line.
I gotta go with the Bengals.
The Bengals. Linebackers. I like the Titans.
Yeah, I'll go with the
And
Titans. I'll roll with the Titans.
secondary.
Secondary, the Bengals.
Bengals. And coach.
Titans.
Titans. I think this is a game that no matter how we look at those matchups, even though we'll do it for the rest of the teams, I think this is a game that Mike Vrabel is just going to be like, hey, Zach, welcome to the playoffs. Now I'm going to show you how it goes. And I think I think this is just going to be one of those sunny moments for Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow. Like, playoffs is different.
You think he just runs it? You think he just runs it up on him?
Nah, so you really think Vrabel's going to allow him just to throw up prayers to Chase?
Oh hell no. I
He's
think
not.
Chase. I think Chase only gets 5 catches this game.
Yeah, so this isn't a game that Chase is gonna snap. This isn't a game that like T. Higgins is gonna have an option. Said this to me, this is just one of them games where Vrabel's gonna do something and the Bengals are gonna be like, we didn't see that all year. Remember, the Titans beat both teams in the other matchup. The Titans beat Buffalo and Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and they pretty much had dog walk. Well, they did dog walk Kansas City. They was beating Buffalo. Buffalo made it close at the end. And so when I look at how the Titans handled them too, and then I look at the Bengals, and I'm like, you're just a step under them, both of them to me. Like, I just think Vrabel's gonna have some for him, especially on a week off. I think he's gonna be like, all right, that's it.
Alex says Titans D line is nice. I think Derrick Henry goes for $180 this game.
Yeah.
Julio's gonna have a quiet game. Brown, I think maybe gets 5 to 7 catches. And I think Joe Burrow throws 2 interceptions, man, off of pure pressure, off of pure just Jamar ain't open, but I'm gonna throw it to him anyways because it's been working the whole season. Why not?
Yeah.
Bengals 31, Titans 24. Damn, he going with the Bengals. Bless you. He going with the Bengals over the Titans. That's tough.
I got Titans downstairs.
I got the Titans too. Who's your MVP for this game, Polly? Who's your MVP for this game, Vita?
No lie. I think Tannehill is gonna put on a solid performance.
Tannehill. Okay.
Yeah. I see 2 TDs, 2 passing and a rushing from Tannehill.
I think we see a hat trick from King Henry. I think he rushes 3 touchdowns, maybe even catches one on the screen.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, 28-14, 35-14.
Actually, I'm going to go 30-21.
30-21, okay.
30-21. 30-21, yeah.
It's going to be a hell of a welcome for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to the playoffs.
Are we on to the next matchup?
Yep, 49ers-Packers. That's going to be the game of the
Okay, so when
that's going to be the game of the weekend.
When Ballard was like, hopefully they don't run it all over us, in my head, I was like, prideful me. And you're number 1 home field. You clearly got the better team, better quarterback, better coach, running games equivalent. Like, what is you tripping off of? And then NFL Films put up a like montage of the last Packers 49ers playoff matchups. And I'm like, oh damn, they do tear y'all up in the playoffs. And so I was like, oh damn. I was like, the 40, like I remember Colin Kaepernick snapped for like the game he snapped.
Like 90 yard
rushing touch. And then Mostert snapped. And I was like, oh, dang.
Even years and years before that, Garrison Hurst is a name that comes with Garrison Hurst. If you're a Packer fan, you know who Garrison Hurst is.
I was like, damn. I was like, the 49ers do this.
He said Joe Mixon, 2 touchdowns, 135.
See?
I can't believe in Joe Mixon doing that against a Mike Vrabel team.
So then I was like, well, why? But then I was like, dang, he's right. But Packers got home field. I don't think the Packers is going to lose at home. I think Jimmy G is going to do Jimmy G things and allow room and mistakes to be made. They got left tackle coming back, right? Bakhtiari is coming back. Mm-hmm. Alexander should be playing.
They have a healthy Packers team.
Yeah, healthy Packers team. And remember that the running game is, to me, is what truly evolved the Packers this year, is the usage of Dillon and Jones together. And I think that's what's going to separate this game. I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be an outright blowout like we saw from the other weekends. But I just think the Packers are going to have control of this game the whole time.
Yeah, I think it'll be like 31-21.
Yeah, I can see like 31-21 too.
Because I think,
like
you said, man, AJ Dillon.
I saw Lala said that 2 TDs, 135 mix, and I can't believe that because I think the Titans are going to get up, and they're like we said, they got a tendency not to use mixing early.
Yep.
And they're just not going to have the ability to use.
And when they do that, they'll have to have a 400+ yard game from Burrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. My MVP for the 49ers and the Packers is going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, AJ Dillon, and Aaron Jones gonna have some. They're gonna have big yardages, but it's gonna be off of like dink and dunk screens.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Jones gets like a buck. Yeah, on rushing. Devontae Adams is gonna eat up that secondary of the 49ers. And I think the reason the 49ers are gonna be so in the hole when it comes to guarding Devontae Adams, they're just gonna be tired. They're gonna be on the field all game.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to be on the field all game. Kittle's going to be a problem. No, I think Dallas had a pretty good blueprint on what to do against Kittle.
I don't think right now they have any interest to use Kittle as much as a receiving tight end as we're used to seeing them right now. It seems like San Francisco is really working more through Debo first.
Yeah, Debo.
And then they did have one shot play call for Kittle, but the end got to Jimmy G before he could set his feet and turn it. He was open too. But it don't seem like they're intentionally using him in the passing game as like the number one option no more.
I don't think they trust Jimmy to be able to make him
a number one. I don't think so either. That's what it seemed like. I don't think so either.
I mean, if you got to put Debo in the backfield, granted their running backs will hurt. If you got to put Debo in the backfield to find a way to get him the ball because you don't trust your quarterback to do that, that almost says everything, man. Like, and I think the
matchup earlier they had this year, and through those 2 dots, I think to Adams to get him a field goal, get up out of there. It's just, I mean, we see it right there. Packers been perfect at home, and I just don't see 49ers coming in this week and being able to take them down. Especially, I don't think they're going to clear Bosa. I just got a feeling they're not going to clear him.
Yeah, concussion protocol. Even if they do, I think you're not gonna get everything out of Bosa that you think you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Right. Fred Warner's still gonna be gimpy off of that game last week. I actually think Brandon Ayuk is gonna have a better game on that receiving core than anyone else is.
Yeah.
He's gonna be matched up against their second, third corner, and I think he'll be the dude.
Brother said Packers 27. Said, yeah, I got Packers by 10. 31-21, 27-17. I can see that.
We about right there, Polly. We believe in your team, dog. We believe in your team.
Yeah, Packers losing at home, I just don't see it.
I don't either. Especially in Aaron Rodgers' potential. It's going to be the narrative for the rest of the playoffs. He ain't leaving. He'll be in Green Bay.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers loses this game. Aaron Rodgers loses this game. He's walking off like Antonio Brown. He's taking off his pants. The peace sign. He is out. He is out. He is gone, bro. He is gone.
He's gonna be like, I'm gonna find a way to go to Minnesota like Brett Favre.
Yeah, he is gone. I'm telling you, he is gone, bro.
Green Bay versus Buffalo Super Bowl. Oh, so lit. We're gonna talk about that at the end of this.
Don't say that.
I don't believe in it.
Rams Bucks. Tristan Wirfs is the key. I picked the Eagles because I told you the Buccaneers is walking in more injured the more we go. You know what I'm saying? On the offensive line. And if you lose Wirfs, and the way it's just gonna put Donald over whoever's at that right tackle, bro. It's just gonna put Donald like, go, bro. Go.
We didn't have our best pass rushers against them. And we ate when Wirfs got hurt. We sacked Brady 4 times.
All third down, too.
Most of them
was third downs. Okay, so let's run it. Damn, we didn't even do it for the 49ers Packers. The 49ers Packers quarterback.
Oh, Packers.
Running backs.
Packers.
Receivers.
Packers.
49ers.
49ers?
49ers.
Ooh.
As a whole. As a whole.
Yeah, I trust
Adams is the best.
I trust
But remember,
Valdez Scantling over Ayuk.
but then I'm adding Kittle into that too when I think of receivers.
I'm gonna go Green Bay still because you still got to think about who's throwing to him.
O-line, I got Green Bay.
Green Bay.
D-line.
Oh, Frisco.
Frisco. Linebackers.
Frisco.
I got Green Bay. I got Green Bay.
Yeah?
Devontae Campbell, all-pro. Guys came over there and snapped, bro.
I don't know. Secondary, Jair's back. I'll go with Green Bay.
Roswell Douglas been clutch too. I'm with Green Bay. And head coach, Shanahan LaFleur.
Oh, LaFleur. Shanahan showed Shanahan tendencies last week.
He was ready to soil that game.
That man had flashbacks of 27-3. He was like, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
He was ready to soil that game.
He said, oh.
All right, Rams, Bucks. Let's start from the top. Quarterback, Stafford, Brady. Running backs. Rams. I'm Rams. Cam Akers and Sony Michel.
Yeah, I'll go with the Rams.
Now, if they had Leonard Fournette, then I'd be like,
Fournette's a difference.
Yeah, but not having them, going Rams. Receivers, Rams.
Rams.
O-line,
Rams.
Still got Bucks.
Even the gimpy, what's the name?
Even the gimpy Wirfs.
Yeah, no, I got to go with the Rams. O-line.
D-line.
Rams. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
Shaq Barrett, JPP, Vita Vea.
I got to go with the Bucks. I got to give it to the Bucks.
Linebackers.
The Bucks.
Oh, that's Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. Easy.
Yes, and secondary.
The Rams.
Rams.
I'll give it to the Rams. Yeah, I'll give it to the Rams.
Rams.
Coaching.
So what? Coaching? Damn, man. Hey, chat, coaching Bruce Arians or Sean McVay? Bruce Arians or Sean McVay?
I'm gonna go McVay because I think in the playoffs, the coaching is all Tom Brady. It ain't Arians.
Yeah. Okay, I'd agree with that, and I'll go McVay.
And we know Arians ain't coaching defense.
Yeah, so. I agree with that, and I'll go with McVay. All right. So looking at this game specifically, and then when I go back and I look at the matchup that the Rams and the Buccaneers had before, Rams got up early, got to run the ball, and controlled the clock from there. Opportunistic, got their turnovers. Then it just became too much to catch up. That was a Rams team that didn't have OBJ, but it did have Robert Woods.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, my brother said the Bucks coaching.
Bucks, Arians over McVay. Oh, yeah, we'll count head coaching if we think entire staff, Todd Bowles, and Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich. I would go head coach, but I still like McVay.
Yeah, Byron Leftwich is nice.
Yeah. All right. So you go back to that matchup again, but they didn't have Cam Akers. I think Cam Akers is the difference maker. I think the fact that Fournette is gone too is like, God, bro. Yeah, I think the fact that Fournette is gone and Akers is back, it gives the Rams that opportunity to faithfully commit more to the run. Because they don't get away from it. You could just tell that they got pass plays called out of their run options, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think the Bucks is gonna try to double Cooper like the Cardinals tried to. I don't think they are.
You don't think they'll double him?
I don't think so.
You think they just play man in zone across the way? Because you got to double somebody. You got Van Jefferson still.
I think
that's a third option.
I think the Bucks are secure enough in their front four rush and White. God dang it, and David to be like they can cover. I think they're secure enough to do that.
Cool. We'll see what happens, man. Who you got? So we got the Bucks over the Rams, or the Rams over the Bucks by 10. 31-21.
No, I don't know this one. This one's tough. Hey, my bro said Rams coaching staffing. I'm thinking of just McVay and Arians. I think McVay's better than Arians.
Yeah, but coaching staff, I think the Bucks got a better coaching staff.
Yeah, because Ty Bowles and Leftwich about to get head coaching jobs.
Yeah, they are. I think I'm gonna take the Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams by a field goal.
Kevin O'Connell, Rams OC getting calls too.
We'll
Man,
see if he gets a job though, because some of those head coaches that got let go are gonna fill in the other coaching, the vacant coach, like Ryan Flores is gonna fill in somewhere.
I think the only head coach that's gonna fill in as another head coach is Flores.
Flores.
Everybody else is going back to being a coordinator.
I got the Rams. I got the Rams by a field goal.
Let's go.
17-14. That man
Beat
watching the Hornets game.
Beat the Celtics. Yeah.
Celtics butt though.
They missing some people too, but I gotta stay 5 games. We 5 games over 500, so I'm cool.
Hey, that's a win nonetheless.
Yeah, that's a win. I told you I just had to get to
Go Hornets
at 500, and then after that, I was like, "We're gonna be cool. We're gonna cruise. Go start to get a little separation." I'm not gonna lie. This is that rule. We know that rule. If it's a close game, you take the home team.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You go with the Bucks.
You take the home team. I don't want to take them though. I really don't. I really don't want to take the Bucks. I want to take the Rams. I want to take the Rams to win.
The fact that both coordinators are getting jobs shows the better staff. True. Players still got to get on the field and execute though.
No, that's fact. It's not. As head coach, that's why I said as head coach, I'm taking McVay before Arians.
I agree.
But we didn't look at the rest of the staff with the other teams though. We just went off of just head coach. So we're like Green Bay and 49ers, we only did LaFleur and Shannon, Kyle Shannon. So we only did head coach. If I had to go whole staff, then I was like, all right, cool. I go whole staff.
60-degree weather. Who you taking, the Bucks or the Rams?
God, bro. I'm gonna go Rams, man. Yeah.
Okay. What's the score? What's the score for them betting people out there?
Close.
I think Tampa Bay is favored by 3.
Yeah, they are. That's just the home field advantage.
A Super Bowl is the ultimate execution, man. That's last year though. We're talking this year. I can't put last year's expectations on this year.
No, it is, but again, I still stand by if Kate. So that's the reason why I'm going with the Rams, and I'm glad my brother said that. KC is starting. KC was coming in and getting more hurt. So if the Tristan Wirfs injury affects, like I felt the Eric Fisher injury affect, like when all them dudes started to drop off towards the end of last year for KC into the playoffs, like the whole O-line was hurt. That's when I was like, okay, Bucks are gonna win the Super Bowl because that O-line is not healthy. Like it's a bunch of backups. Y'all know how I feel about Mike Remmers. That type of injury to your O-line at this point of the year, when you got an all-pro who's never missed a snap and could potentially miss a snap, is what's making me go, I can't take y'all. Like I can't take y'all because your line of scrimmage isn't sustainable. And like you said, last week I had 8 sacks, all third downs. Like there was pressure there. So it was early downs. I don't think
Damn. Rams Bucks. He said Rams 34, Bucks 28. Tough. That's a high scoring game.
I'm really putting my bet on Tristan Wirfs if he's there or not. But I'm gonna go Rams.
I think he's gonna beat it regardless. But what version of Tristan Wirfs are we gonna get? I think by the second quarter. I think by the second quarter he's out because he's gonna get beat multiple times.
Today. They said he was in a boot today.
Oh, he done.
So I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? But they said he was in a boot today. So we only know one version of Tristan Wirfs. We don't know what an 80-75% Tristan Wirfs look like. But we do know from the couple plays that he tried to go back out there against Philly on, when that mug had to put pressure on, he folded. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not getting good enough in a week to be able to go play left tackle for Tom Brady. You're not going to be good enough in a week. They're going to put a tight end over there, and they're going to chip everyone that's on that side.
So I think I'm gonna go. No, I'm not gonna think. I'm going the Rams. I'm going the Rams because the OBJ being there. If you keep giving him the one-on-one matchups, him or Cooper is gonna be able to produce. Cam Akers coming back, so there should be some sustained running. It's still going to be a very, very good game. It really is.
50% worse is going to be the downfall of Brady. Facts. Anything that's not 100% worse is going to be the downfall of Brady.
Anything that's not 100, if all pro worse that we know plays is not there, I can't have no confidence in you, like right there.
Last matchup of the divisional round. Bills, Chiefs.
Bills, Chiefs. Let's run it. Who you taking, Mahomes or Allen?
Mahomes. Mahomes. Slowly.
But it's a good thing that we're both like,
it's not outright. Because
let me think about it.
No, some people might hate that fact that we're bringing that up, right? But you said this before. Mahomes makes a whole lot of decisions that gets bailed out, dropped interceptions. Yeah. This year we saw people catching those.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like I'm still Mahomes.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking.
Yeah. So it's still Mahomes. Running backs. What running backs?
Man, right? When they use you mean Josh Allen against who is it? McKinnon?
Yeah, McKinnon.
Jerk.
So that was a genius move by Andy though, because you're like, you don't keep playing off. I'm just gonna put my best running back there, my best receiving running back there.
Oh yeah.
And let him catch and go after. And then when they came up, you saw Derek Gore come in. And like, all right, cool, go get you some of these. So it was great usage by Andy to me on that point. Receivers. Receiving, of course, you got Knox, Diggs,
that's tough.
Weasley against Hill, Kelsey, Hardman, Robinson.
I gotta go with KC.
Yeah, I gotta go KC too. Kelsey and Hill is just they them dudes, bro.
Yeah. O-line. I'm taking Hill over Diggs. I'm taking Kelsey over Knox. O-line, Buffalo. Bills get my vote.
Damn. Yeah, I'm about to take Buffalo on the O-line too. D-line.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Chiefs.
Yeah, Ingram is snapping though.
Ever since they moved bro back to the inside, Chris Johnson.
Yeah, Chris Jones. Yeah.
Or Chris Jones. Ever since they moved that man back to the inside, after he was made a fool playing end, trying to read those plays.
Yeah.
Ever since they moved him back to the inside, man, he's been making a huge impact for sure.
The Bills run so deep though. Rousseau, like the Ricky Rousseau snapped the last time he played, so he was like, I'm gonna go KC though. I'm gonna go KC. They are KC. Linebackers.
Buffalo.
Line on them cold, bro. And secondary, I'm going to Bills.
I'm going to Bills too. Even without White.
Even without White, I'm going to Bills.
That's tough.
So
Cepha got the Chiefs 34-24 over Buffalo.
So Holland's got Bills 38-24. Cepha's got Chiefs 34-24. It's crazy. That's crazy. Chiefs 34-24, Bills 38-24. All
right, I'm gonna say this.
Coach. I don't think we have to do coach with coach.
Oh yeah,
Sean McDermott, Andy Reid.
It's Andy Reid.
Speaking of,
if KC protected home earlier in the season, this will be an easy decision, and I would say KC. What home field means, I don't think home field means anything to me in this game.
But Buffalo said it though. They built their team to play KC because they knew eventually you would have to come back, which to me was like the ultimate sign of respect. It was like, we know we got to come back and deal with y'all.
Yep.
So they lost the AFC Championship game, got owned, came back and was like, he said 63-3 Chiefs. came back, won that matchup. I'm specifically looking, okay, so we said it before, we'll go back to it. KC has lost this year to every team remaining in the AFC playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, Buffalo, and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Each of those games, Mahomes didn't throw, I think the most he threw for was like 246, 260. No games he had 300 yards passing. And I think the best one was the Bills, and he had 2 picks and 2 TDs. So like the numbers wasn't there, but that's when he also entered his slump. When people were saying that Mahomes was in a slump, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it goes, well, you were in a slump, but the two people whose games you were in a slump with, you're gonna have to get ready to face again.
Yeah.
I don't bet against KC at home. Y'all remember in the chat, I was like,
It's
when I
personal.
tried to change it, yeah.
He said it's
Y'all,
personal.
y'all
I
remember
don't blame you,
y'all
bro.
remember in the chat that day when we was doing our pick'ems? I said, no. I was like, I meant to take the Chiefs. And they was like, Polly was like, no, you took Buffalo. You took Buffalo. I was like, no, I don't go against KC at home.
Yeah.
And they was like, no, you took. So we had that deal, and then Buffalo won. I'm looking specifically at Diggs and whoever's gonna hold Diggs. That's what, and then I'm also looking at the fact that Buffalo has worked in power running game with Josh Allen. That's been effective. That power running game worked when they came to KC. He had to touchdown, dude, jump somebody. So I'm like, yo, this like Buffalo was like, they knew they had to come back and deal with KC. Micah Hyde and Jordan Pryor, like they're like they play with attitude right there with the safeties, bro. Like they are hawking right now. So it makes it tough for me. But again, like I just can't. I don't want to go against KC at home. I really don't want to.
I'm
issue.
going to, for the simple fact that the thing that comes to mind for me last year, which seems to be a theme ever since Diggs did it last year. Everyone's doing it now, and it's this big deal, right? Diggs sat there and watched them celebrate last year. He sat there and watched them celebrate their win, and he was like, okay, bet. But for me, the MVP of this game is going to be Josh Allen. Why? He going to throw 2 touchdowns. That's going to open up everything else for him. I think he has a $120 rushing.
So Cephas says the DBs are going to be in deep 2 all game. But that makes your $120 rushing the issue, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just QB power, they're gonna like QB power you every now and then, you know what I'm saying, and bring one up. And then when you finally decide to bring in Sorensen, who you use for situations like that, then he's gonna be like, hey, no, check whoever's
Play
got
action,
him,
boom.
yeah, right at him, because that's who they messed up last time. That's who every team messes up. But this is also the moment where like Sorensen tends to make a play, and KC be like, yeah, we put up with you, but we love you, bro. Like this. Like that's the relationship that they had.
I think he has a quiet $120. He has a quiet $120 rushing, and it's going to be off of like 15, 17 carries off of them. He meant the Bills DBs. That's what I thought he was talking about with the Bills DBs, especially with Tyreek and Hardman. Okay. I could trust those linebackers against McKinnon and Gore. I can trust those linebackers over there. And to even contain, like, let's not forget, you got to contain Mahomes running the ball 7 to 12 yards.
And that's usually where Mahomes does what that really is, on the move and scrambling, picking up 15, 20 at a time in the most like opportune time. Like when you turn them DBs, he's like, bet I'm going to go pick up 15, 20, 25. He did it again in the San Diego game. He did it all in the playoffs. It's why it's tough to want to go against him. But like when I'm looking strictly at like
you're looking at the quarterback on the other side that does the same thing, and he gonna do it regardless. Like you gonna put 7 in the box, 8 in the box. You're gonna be like, bet I'm still gonna run power because you don't have enough to pick me up. That's always the difference for the quarterback. Is he's always a difference maker. Lamar Jackson showed that earlier in the year.
The Bills took back-to-back losses to the Patriots and the Bucs. But I feel like the Bills, ever since the second half of the Bucs game, when they came back, almost took the overtime, all that stuff, I feel like since then, they've been playing some of the best team football in the NFL. Like, I felt like they was like, we took a bad loss, we had a bad start, now it's time for us to tighten up and move on. It's like, if you was to say one of these QBs was to get 5 TDs, I'm like, okay, Allen did it. I would believe that Allen did it way more than I would believe that Mahomes did it in this time. Like this year. He said Mahomes looks really accurate. But Mahomes has, like, this isn't a Mahomes thing. This is just like a personal pet peeve. He always gets technically them passing touchdowns, which is just the lobs in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'd be like, man,
there's a little dump
really
off.
Yeah, dump offs. And I'm like, okay, I get the rules. This is like,
Or the shovel pass to Kelsey on that roll to the right.
yeah. So I said he has 100 ways to run the exact same play, and he knows what he do it because he uses motion and he uses leverage against the defense. But Buffalo's built for that. Buffalo is 100% built for that. Like Buffalo is like we don't have to get like we can handle that. Like they have safeties who will come down like they're confident enough to handle that.
Yeah. To me, I look at Buffalo's defense and I look at KC's offense, right? It's nothing new. It's nothing new. We've seen this KC team for 4 years now. From before they went to the Super Bowl to when they won the Super Bowl to when they lost the Super Bowl to this year. We've seen this team before.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if it's gonna be the best comparison for those people that don't watch a lot of basketball but to me I look at it like this is the Phoenix Suns at this point now.
Yeah.
You know what they're gonna do. They're gonna run it up. You got Tyreek on the outside playing your ex. You're gonna have Kelsey split out on the right side, always on the opposite side of where Tyreek is. And if he's not, it's because he's running underneath and Tyreek is taking the top off. And that's where your options are. Either Miko Hardman coming across the field from the other side or Tyreek taking the top, Kelsey on the underneath. So it's like you said, I think Buffalo's built for this team.
All right. KC, and these are some of the factors I'm gonna look at now. We can see if they're right or they're wrong. KC played a stalemate for Pittsburgh for 1 quarter. No points. I don't think you could do that against a Buffalo team this time.
Oh no.
Because I think that's what happened. If I'm right, I think that's what happened in the first matchup. KC started slow. Buffalo came up and got up real quick. The tip pick, another touchdown, got up quick, the same way that they did with Patriots, and then the game got kind of out of hand from there. And then from there, Buffalo was just kind of moving that wheel. I don't think you're allowed with this Buffalo team to have those droughts.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're gonna be able to have the opportunity to go repeat. Like you're first of all, Bills, you're not gonna repeat 7 touchdowns in a row on every drive. There's a reason that hasn't been done in NFL history. You know what I'm saying? Scoring a touchdown on every drive of your possession. There's a reason why that hasn't happened in history. The same way that, at least for KC during this time, I don't think you're going to score 6 touchdowns in a 10-minute frame because this Buffalo team isn't going to allow it. Even in that AFC Championship game last year, like that wasn't that type of game. The 2 playoff games before it was KC came back. I don't think this team is this. You're not allowed to start slow against the Buffalo team. Yeah. Not this year. You're not allowed to have.
What I've been seeing from Andy Reid this year is he's evolved his play calling based on what he sees after the first quarter.
Yeah.
When in years past, we've seen Andy come out right off the bat like, y'all ain't going to stop us. I know I can come out here. I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I got a nice backup. I got Tyreek. I got Kelsey. I got everyone who I need. Y'all ain't going to stop this. Yeah. This year, I think, is the first year, this Andy Reid with this team, where if they don't score in the first quarter, like you said, his evolution in play calling is going to be a step or 2 behind. Because at that point, 14-14, going into halftime, I think Buffalo wins. If KC's behind at all going into halftime, Buffalo's going to take this game outright.
It's so tough to give a score on this game because again, it really is a swing either way to me. Like it really is because, like you said, they both mirror they almost mirror each other. But I'm like 100% Buffalo has the better defense.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the difference, right? Because we talked about positional matchups. And who has a better positional matchup. But if we do it like this, if I put Buffalo's defense against KC's offense, how much better is KC's offense than the defense, or vice versa? Or do they come to a stalemate at that point, right? And then you flip it on the other side and say, how much better is Buffalo's offense than KC's defense? Which I think it's a significant
Yeah, it's a
difference.
gap. Like it's a bigger gap. You know what I'm saying? It's a bigger gap in matchups. Like I agree with that part. I think Buffalo's offense is superior to KC's defense, but the gap isn't as big when you flip that around. You know what I'm saying? Like Buffalo's defense was built to play KC now, not before. So it makes me go, yeah, man, it's tough.
I mean, like Sefa said, it's gonna be a fun game to watch. It's
No, it is.
definitely
It
gonna be one
is.
that we go back and forth in the chat for sure.
So now, let me ask this then: out of all of the quarterbacks remaining, which are Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow, we don't even need to bring up them two because I don't think put them in there, but I'm pretty much sure they're not the answer. Jimmy Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow. Who needs this win the most? Who needs the win the most?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yep. I think Josh Allen needs it more than Matthew Stafford does.
Okay, I could agree with that. I think at this point, like everybody's kind of on house money with Matt Stafford.
Yeah, because if Matthew Stafford doesn't win, we expected that. Stafford going Matthew Stafford. He won a game.
Yeah.
He didn't do that in Detroit.
Yeah.
But if Josh Allen loses a game, if he loses this game, going into next year, the conversations are going to be whole different as far as where he falls in that pecking order of 1 to 10.
Yeah. And so KC's doing the one thing that makes me believe that this could be sustainable is because they've been hitting their draft picks. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, Snead. They've been drafting really, really good here lately, too. So it's like, okay, cool. We ain't got to pay some of these people. Like Frank Clark, see you later, cuz. We ain't got to pay some of these people. Like y'all just got to roll because our money's tied up. So I think, so for me, it's almost like when we talk about dynasties, KC's allowed to lose this one, and nobody would think of them any differently.
Oh yeah,
because you're like, yo, y'all been to 3 Super Bowls in a row. Now, if you go to a 4th and lose, then people are gonna be like, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You got that one because Shanahan and all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, then it would change. But KC is 100% allowed to lose this week and be like, hey man, y'all been doing the damn thing for the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Take a chill pill and then run it back.
They'll still come in next year as a Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah, they're still walking it because again, they drafted so well, and that's how you sustain is you drafted so well. Shoot.
Their trajectory this year, coming into the year, their first 10 games too, was that they were going to miss the playoffs. Yeah. So, regardless of what happens this game for them, I think out of the 8 teams remaining, they are the one that can afford to lose.
Yeah, KC can afford to lose, and everybody be like you said, as soon as the season's done and we do our way too early contenders, we'll be like, oh, yep, KC's contender.
Yep. The Bucks.
Hey, KC's contender.
The Bucks lose. Tom Brady retires. Arians retires again.
So we did it with Dallas, but it's Buffalo also. Buffalo's OC and DC's taking head coaching jobs. You know what I'm saying? So this is Buffalo's window to be like, yo, we gotta win this year. Because their coaching staffs are taking it too. Except for his Rams can't afford to lose.
Rams can't afford to lose. I think they can more than KC does. More than KC though.
Yeah. KC's bulletproof with a loss at this point.
Yeah, so KC's the only team that's bulletproof right now. The Bucks lose, Tom Brady retires, Arians retires, Byron Leftwich maybe takes that position, and they're back in rebuild with a great defense. Right?
Yeah. I don't even think most of them stay. They probably move on too.
The Rams lose. The Rams lose. It's just it's one of those things. High expectations.
Yeah. Von Miller and OBJ will be free agents technically, but they probably both stay.
Packers lose. Aaron Rodgers gone. It is what it is. Devontae Adams goes to wherever Derek Carr is and or wherever Aaron Rodgers goes.
Yeah.
49ers lose. We expected it. Like, you're playing the Packers.
Yeah.
Titans and the Bengals, whoever comes out of that, it is what it is, right?
I don't think nobody cares.
Joe Burrow loses, cool. This is your first real full year in the NFL because last year you got hurt. Titans get hurt. Oh, Derrick Henry's coming off an injury. We expected this.
Yeah, I think Buffalo has too much on the line. I'm gonna go 34-24 Buffalo. Because now that we break it down like that, KC can afford to lose this game. And I can't ignore the fact that the teams left you lost to.
Mm-hmm.
I can't ignore the fact that the teams left you lost to. And I had a homie say, well, it's hard to beat a team twice. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to do that with whoever else is left that you play. Because remember, even if you go to the Super Bowl, you got to run it back with Brady. You got to run it back with Rodgers. And a lot of people still hold that Green Bay game over because you didn't play Green Bay the first. You didn't play Aaron Rodgers at Green Bay the first time. You played Jordan Love. And so it's 30. I'm going 34-24 Buffalo.
Cool. That wraps it up for the divisional round. That pretty much wraps it up. Real quick, we'll hop into the NBA real quick. We ain't gonna do nothing too in depth just because we focus on the NFL right now, man. We in the playoffs. We got plenty of
real
time.
Real quick,
for
y'all
the
in
NBA.
the chat. Drop your team in the chat. Let us know who you repping. Let us know who you repping for those. You know me coming up.
Hornets right. Looking good. 5 games over 500. Big headlines right now is KD's hurt, out for 5 to 6 weeks with that knee sprain. We're gonna see typical James Harden basketball.
Yeah.
Kyrie on the road, like that is what it is. I think Brooklyn continues
they'll sustain enough to keep their seeding position. I believe
they'll be like 3 to 5 with KD gone.
Yeah.
Memphis
is tough.
Memphis, they some dogs over there.
Yeah, Memphis is tough.
They look legitimately like the Marc Gasol's Zebo Memphis, just younger bodies, more athletic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they got a Desmond Bain, 2-way player, catch and shoot on the 3.
They're deep too. Jones, Tyus Jones, snapping.
Triple J. Every team needs a Steven Adams. I don't care what nobody says. Every team needs a Steven Adams to make every fight look real regular.
Yeah.
Who else we got? The Bulls haven't been healthy for a minute, but they're still out there.
They are. And I think the Bulls is a good team. I do, every team is allowed their roller coaster throughout the year. The Bulls is a good team. I think they just had that real hot streak at that time, just like we see other teams win a bunch, lose a couple. But they're there, and they are gonna. I think they'll actually keep more of their position, and KD's gonna be out, so I think they should be able to stay around that 1 or 2-ish 3 range.
Yep, Bucks are starting to get healthy. Giannis is back in MVP form after taking a little bit of leave of COVID a few weeks back.
Yeah.
They're starting to get healthy. They might have Brook Lopez back in the next few weeks. Bobby Portis has been huge for them.
Hey, his little shimmy he did the other day had me dying laughing. I was rolling. I said, that's the weirdest dude ever.
That's it.
Yeah. I said, Bobby, take your put behind on.
Lakers look like damn YMCA team right now. You know what I'm saying? Huge win over the Jazz the other day. I'll take it. But
I just literally, like I told you before, I think the Lakers are just cruising until playoffs. I just don't think 4 teams. Am I right or wrong? I believe 4 teams. Just 4 teams. Not saying other teams couldn't win it. I think 4-team season this year is finals or bust. That's their definition.
Oh yeah.
I think 4 teams this year is finals or bust. I think that's the Lakers, the Suns, the Nets, and the Warriors. I think those 4 teams' expectation is if we don't win the finals this year, the season was a failure.
Yep.
Those are the only 4 teams who I can say are finals or bust. I still think Miami's a dangerous team to look out for, just because they're always well coached, well played. That's just how they are. So
Spoelstra's one of the most underrated coaches, which is
Yeah,
crazy to say. One of the most underrated coaches in the NBA.
and he's accomplished. Like he's accomplished. So people do take him for granted. I like the Cavs are here, man. Darius Garland's balling. Fred VanVleet balling. Orlando Magic. We told y'all before I hire us as consultants. Y'all should have listened. I took Jalen Suggs. Wagner was the pickup. You did a good thing. Y'all could have did something else with that though.
I'm glad. I'm glad they gave the keys to Cole. I'm glad they gave the keys to Cole Anthony.
You shipped Jalen to Indiana for Karis LeVert and Sabonis.
Yes.
You go get Karis LeVert and Sabonis and say you give me Jalen Suggs and we'll go from there. Then you can have your.
Because then they could take Mo Bamba.
Yep.
And they could be like, "Yo, somebody want Mo?"
They said they. I heard they just want a first for him. Somebody just wants a first for him.
That's not bad. Hey,
yeah, well, the Magic want a first, but the Pacers want 2 for Miles Turner.
What? 2 first rounds?
Yeah, 2 firsts for Miles Turner.
I think that's a little much. They might gonna have to drop it down to like a first and a second.
I said the Pacers owner. I said you say you want a superstar player, but if you're asking for 2 firsts for Miles Turner, you think he's a superstar player. Like, come on, dude, bro. Nobody's about to give you 2 firsts.
Bobo. So the original trade that sent him to Detroit got Boyd because he failed his physical. Nobody knows what happened there. But there was a 3-team trade that is sending him to Boston.
Yep, I seen that.
So, I think him and PJ Dozier is going to Boston, and I think I can't remember who the other team was involved in that. But Bobo to Boston. He's just gonna be stuck over there again behind Robert Williams, Time Lord.
We're just sitting on potential with him. We really are.
But any other big things in the NBA you want to talk about other than the 76ers Ben Simmons fake trades that they keep posting?
Yeah, we was like, yo, these trades got to be fake, bro. Y'all got to be faking them trades because there's absolutely no way that people is throwing these offers that you're just denying them.
But let me pull this one that you sent in the chat, man. Let me read this out loud. So, reportedly, from Keith Pompey, who's supposedly a 76ers reporter, supposedly saying that trade with the Kings, where the 76ers get Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, Harrison Barnes, and 2 first-round picks for the $70 million, actually $85 million in cap hit, with Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Matisse Thybulle, and they declined it.
They're tripping, bro.
There's no way you can tell me that that's a legitimate trade that you said no to. Where you're trading away somebody who's not playing. Somebody who's on a rookie contract who you'd eventually pay because he's your Danny Green now, essentially, in Matisse Thybulle. Tobias Harris, who's your number 2, to bring in a Buddy Hield, mid-level. He's a mid-level pay right now.
Shooter.
Tyrese Halliburton, who's a proven point guard. I don't care what nobody says. This man averaged a double-double while De'Aaron Fox is hurt.
Exactly.
Still in his, second year as a rookie contract? Second year?
Yeah, only second year.
Oh, third year. Because last year was LaMelo, and he was the year before. Bless you.
Yeah.
And Harrison Barnes, a proven 3-and-D guy, and 2 first-round picks.
They're tripping, bro. They said at this point, Philly's just being prideful, bro. I don't know. Just come out and say what you want or who you want so they could tell you no. But you're just being prideful, bro. They're just mad because you missed out on the good deals you had in the beginning.
I'm going to go into conspiracy theories, and I'm going to say that they're ruining his value so much that they're going to eventually send... We're going to send THT, Kendrick Nunn, and Russell Westbrook for Ben Simmons. And it's all gonna be conspiracy. It's all gonna be conspiracy. They're gonna be like, the Lakers played this. LeBron James and his friends did this.
That's hilarious.
It just make no sense, man. You don't turn down a trade like that.
GMs always gotta feel like they win the trade instead of just kind of realizing, like, you know what, this situation isn't good, and you are still taking a top level player in the NBA and putting them on the bench, and you're hindering the help of your MVP center right now, big man. Like,
Facts.
just take the trade, bro, and move on about your day. Like, you're holding people hostage for nothing.
You're wasting an MVP year of Joel Embiid. Actually, that third team is the Spurs. So Denver, San Antonio, and Boston. 3-way trade that sends Bobo.
Except for we do our TTE tables, man, where we try to be GMs for people, and we tend to be right. I'm not gonna say we hit it all out the park, but we tend to be right. I just don't know how we could get a job as a GM.
You feel me?
Gotta hire,
man.
Somebody gotta hire us eventually.
It's almost like we gotta start as ball boys or something, man. Hey, you know, ball boys in the NBA make 6 figures a year.
Yeah. I'd be like, y'all watch that? I can't remember the movie. Be like, the one thing dude drops. I got it. I got it. Don't worry, move out the way.
But man, we made the Jalen Suggs call. We made that, and now the Magic look dumb because they got Markelle Fultz coming back.
We said Ja over Zion. We said Ja was better than Luka. We said Trae Young and Jason Tatum was better than Luka, and they called us crazy.
We said Ja was better than De'Aaron Fox.
We said Ja was better than De'Aaron Fox. We got called crazy.
This was stuff stupid.
Crazy. They keep calling us crazy people. We ain't 100% right, but we be right. They called us crazy.
120 rushing.
TTE management. We don't even work for that much, bro. Trust me, we're not a ding in your salary cap.
We really ain't. All we're asking for is we ain't even asking for individual salaries. Give us a salary to the TTE LLC. That's all we ask for.
Yeah.
Fund our Cream City kickbacks ×2 so they a little nicer than what we can provide for ourselves. Give us some merch and we good. We good. Maybe we need to be some sports managers, bro. Maybe that's what we need to be.
Maybe we do. I just don't know how to become one.
Me neither.
So we'll see.
Don't y'all got some family in the NFL, man? Tell me what's up.
I think, NBA wise, it's at that slow-ish type of point. We'll see how it goes. Again, we all know after the All-Star break, things change up a lot. After the All-Star break, we start to see who's there.
He said 120 is not loud. It's not quiet. That's loud, bro. Hey, he gonna get it quietly. By the third quarter, they're gonna look up and be like, Josh Allen got 75 yards rushing. What?
That dude, man. That's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a good game. But anything before we get out of here?
Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts?
Well, how many days are we from Cream City?
21 days before Cream City kickback.
21
where we all get together and kick it. Enjoy, y'all. We should be live that Saturday before the Super Bowl, kicking it.
Yep.
And we'll be enjoying the time, man. Enjoying a good time.
21 days from Cream City. Tap in with us, man. Y'all see all of those, I seen your post that you put up there, man, but, you guys see all those stories about gamers meeting up in real life. We about to make it happen, man. We calling the Cream City Kickback. We're going to have the Wheel of Consequences that we got a King Uchiha and 10 toes spinning.
If anybody next year wants to join the Pick'ems, Cream City started because we're all going to meet up. We was joking about the Cream City jerseys and the Bucks. And then we do a Pick'ems. So if y'all want to join the Pick'ems, you see TTE Moonwalk in the chat. Get with him. He runs the Pick'ems. He handles all of that. We did Pick'ems, and the 2 people who lost have to spin a Wheel of Consequences. And they will have to do whatever the wheel says, which is hot pepper, sing karaoke, cinnamon challenge,
extreme sour.
Yeah, extreme sour. Whatever it is, they're going to have to do it. So next year, if y'all want to join the Pick'ems, we're going to looking to open it up to everybody and get down. But y'all going to have to spin the Wheel of Consequences because somebody got to do something.
We'll be in what, Arizona next year?
Next year we'll be in Arizona.
We'll be in Arizona following the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's in Arizona next year, right?
Arizona.
We're going to be following the Super Bowl next year. Hopefully we can get some press passes. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see if we can work some press passes.
Get some interviews in.
We will.
But that's it for episode 32 of TTE Talks, man. Thanks for tapping in with us. Hit a sub, hit a like. Make sure you share with your folks. We'll be back next week, same time, Wednesday,
Every
6:30
Wednesday.
Mountain Standard Time. Tap in
Every
with us, y'all.
Wednesday. We out, y'all.